Hello and good evening or good morning, everybody on the fine internet. Welcome to the last episode of the Ruffians, episode 6. I'm very, very excited about tonight. We should have a very good show, I hope, in store for you. We might go a little bit long or we might go a little bit short. Of course, it all depends on how our wonderful players go. But just starting off, I have to give a few thank yous and introductions and everything else. First off, my name is Agent Number 1, also known as Kieran in real life. And I'm here on Role4Damage, who I want to give a big, big shout out and thank you for. They're an incredible group, an incredible channel who has brought all of us here together and given us this great little time slot to do this fun little goofy pirate adventure in this town. That's been a real blast so far. So I'm very, very happy and pleased for that. Let me just give a few shout outs here. Sorry, I have a bunch of things opening up on my computer all of a sudden. First off, I want to thank Brepai, our incredible artist. You can see Era Blackwood there. Brepai does all of the artwork for all of her characters on the channel. She does a really great job. She has links down below. Please check her out. The work is just magnificent. Second off, we have a handful of different kind of partner channels and people we want to shout out. First up is Nerds of the West. They're a Western Australian board game channel that we trade players with all the time here on Twitch. And they're wonderful. We also have Wonders and Blunders, an incredible Canadian podcast that I have some bias in saying because I'm also part of it, as is Mike. I'm going to leave it for him to tell you a little bit about more. I want to shout out ParadiceRPG, who has given us 2 incredible players here tonight as well, which I will let Shannon talk a little bit about more. And then also there is There Be Dragons Cast, a podcast that one of our other campaigns has a player taken from. And we just love sharing the love. We just love the whole D&D community and then uniting everybody together and then giving the shout outs and everything wherever we can, whenever we can. So that being said, I think I'm going to toss it on over to our players and let them introduce themselves. So let's go in a little reverse order tonight and start over with Mike, who's playing Sloop Brinescale. Mike, tell us a little bit about yourself and Sloop. Your final introduction.
Oh, the final one. This is so nice. My name is Mike. I'm the DM for Wonders and Blunders, which is a D&D podcast, as Kieran mentioned. Kieran plays a giant lizard folk barbarian who is terrifying and also the perfect mom. We're like a cute family vibe, but also sort of a horror comedy D&D podcast. We're on like a side mission right now, so it's a great time to tune in because it's not all the canon stuff, so you can come in and get a sweet little taste of some level 10 action. And in this game, I play Sloop Brinescale, who I think is right below me. I am a kobold, I am a rogue, I am a pirate, and I am here to steal and stab and blow things up. That's all you need to know about me.
Excellent. Next, we'll pass it on over to Shelby of Wystle While You Work, who is playing Era Blackwood.
Hi, I'm Shelby. I'm from the YouTube channel Wystle While You Work, where I tell stories of my D&D antics and draw whatever fun fantasy stuff comes to mind. And you can find me on YouTube at Wystle While You Work, spelled W-Y-S-T-L-E, or on Twitter at WhistleWis, or on Instagram at Wystle While You Work. And exciting announcement, my merch store has just gone live, and these babies have been, oh god, this is not going to come across on camera, are available now. These are my Pride buttons. They will be available all of June, along with a couple stickers. I have to cover some of these because they're not mine, but I have stickers, and I'm very proud of them, and you should totally go check them out. And I'm playing Era Blackwood, who is the bitchy, moody, little necromancer. God, words.
Spooky little spooky necro. Perfect. Let's pass it on over to Shannon, who is playing the lovely Miss Lydia Ray.
Yes, thank you. Oh, I'm so sad it's the last show, but so happy. This has been such an incredible adventure, and I've loved playing with you guys. Thank you so much for this. Can't wait to see what happens tonight. My name is Shannon. You can find me on Twitter at sroby25. I'm on Instagram too at that name, but I'm most active on Twitter. I am a cast member over at ParadiceRPG. You can find us on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Discord, YouTube, and all podcast locations. We play Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern, our flagship show, Advantage in Paradise. And we also have some other shows that I will let our wonderful DM discuss. Sean. And I am playing Lydia Ray, whose deepest ambition is to captain her own ship someday.
A bold ambition. Let's pass it on over to the Paradise DM, Sean, who is playing Django Weatherby Teague.
Thank you very much. Yes, so you can find me anywhere at Odo_Sean, ODO_SEAN. I am the DM for Paradise RPG's flagship show, as Shannon said, Advantage in Paradise. We have a few other shows right now. We've got, occasionally we got some gaming on Tuesdays with Alex. We have Relaxing in Paradise on Wednesdays, which was postponed this week, but we'll be back next week with myself, where I talk about lore of our homebrew world, Aradun, as well as just talking some D&D. Occasionally I try to play video games and then stop, but because I talk too much about my lore and get into it. And we take a look at my hand-drawn maps, all that fun jazz. And then on every Sunday, we've got the Tim and Shannon Power Hour, where Tim and our player, or Shannon and our player Tim, interview members of the community, talk about our latest episodes, speculate about the story in our latest episodes, and all sorts of fun stuff. I am playing Django Weatherby Teague tonight, and as you can see, I've put on somewhat of a partial cosplay of him, primarily these lustrous chops. As you can see, I'm on the screen right now. Django does not aspire to be a captain of his own ship, merely to be the first mate to the captain. Let them do all the work while you maintain the authority. Django is a lovable bard, silver-tongued, and cat thrower and wooer of all folk. And I'm very sad that this is the last night for Django, but it's been a blast.
Excellent. Thank you so much to every one of the players and to everyone in the chat who's come on in and given your nice shout outs and saying nice things. So with all that said, I think it's time we get a little to the action. Now,
yeah.
A recap is needed. I believe everyone but one member of this team has given a recap so far. So
Right.
Kieran, tonight.
I was about to say, I think it's my
finale.
Don't mess this up.
I'll leave you just to recap what happened at the masquerade ball that you left last episode.
Okay. So we went to a masquerade ball. We all had a wonderful time, I think. There was dancing, there was eating, there was schmoozing and spying. Who did we find after Era had a spat with one of the Neres? It was one of the errands.
It was one of the errands, I believe.
They had their spat. Lydia and Sloop snuck upstairs into the bedrooms where they found not surprisingly not too much. They found some sea maps. They found a very expensive necklace and the journal of the matron of the house, where Lydia found out that the matron was very unhappy in her marriage, that the husband didn't seem to do anything for them. Then downstairs, Era caught the eye of the house wizard, who turned out to be a necromancer of some pretty high power. They went downstairs to see his laboratory, and Django snuck alongside with them, discovering that there was a jail cell off to the side where there was whimpering inside. Django messaged upstairs, and Sloop and Lydia came down to assist, while Era distracted this necromancer. The others managed to sneak into the jail cell and free Pipper Aaron, who had gone missing, unknown to the Aarons. The Nere family had taken him away and given him to this necromancer for all sorts of terrible testing. Era knocked over a was it?
I think it was like an amethyst crystal.
An amethyst crystal.
I broke something and he got mad.
Yeah, she broke a crystal while trying to distract him from coming back into the hallway. He got mad, at which point she frightened him severely left him cowering in a corner while everybody else ran away. Pipper Aaron went up to profess his love to the matron of the house. And on the way out, while they were making a big scene, we all escaped and threw 2 casual fire bombs into the middle of the party, blocking the stairway from the necromancer and the exit for everybody else.
Excuse me, you did that.
we were all there.
At Django's encouragement.
Yeah. Didn't you set off fireworks too?
Oh yeah, no, I did not. I
You
set
set off
off
a smoke bomb.
Smoke.
Yeah, and you left the house in smoke and fire as you casually waltzed out the front door, and made your way back to the tavern at the end of the night. A successful party spoilt, which leaves us, I believe, now to the next day. As the sun rises in the morning, you guys got back in around 12 or 1 o'clock at night, so it's not too early in the morning when you hear a knock on your door.
Oh dear. I guess I'll answer it. I think Era, realistically, probably the first person to be awake, should be trying to go through shit.
Sure. As you open the door, you see Creek standing there, who echoes back in your own voice, "I need to talk to you."
All right, come in. Before he says anything, though, I do want to do a very quick cast of Detect Magic to make sure that we're not that spell that was watching us before. I know that ended, but I just want to be cautious.
Yep. As you do Detect Magic to look for the runes and the eyes and stuff that were watching you from before, nothing goes off, and you see you do pick up some glints of magic across Creek. Various of the rings, one of his teeth glows a little bit, as well as his sash and pants. But just with kind of light magical effects, nothing too heavy to your eye.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about magic items. I'm more just looking to see if there's creepy eyes on the wall again.
Yeah. No, the room is not full of creepy eyes this morning.
Okay, good. After that, I guess we'll let him in. Just be like, all right, I think it's safe to talk in here. What's wrong?
And Creek walks in, kind of closes the door behind you, and then looks back and says, again in your own voice, "I don't suppose you were planning on us causing such a ruckus."
Oh, yes, things at the party got a little out of hand. We made quite the discovery that I think will send ripples across this entire city when it gets out.
And you see him kind of cock his head to one side.
The Norays kidnapped Pipper Aaron.
He lets out a little squeak, and you see him kind of like place his feathers on his paunch and think for a moment. And then
there's also been some rather unsavory practices going on in the laboratory of the Noray, or the basement of the Noray home. Afraid their doctor's probably not alive anymore.
And yeah, you see him kind of take on a bit more of a solemn expression, and he says, "A fancy party like that. We should not do any fighting." And kind of you can see he kind of fumbles for some words, and just shakes his head, and reaches into his sash and pulls out 2 scrolls of paper, and waves them somewhat menacingly at the group of you and says, "It is paramount you keep a low profile," and begins unfurling the 2 pieces of parchment. First, you see the wanted poster of Django that you spotted the day before, with the slightly incorrect nose and just a few of the facial features weren't quite right. And he kind of tosses that over to Django and then unfurls the second one, where you see a wanted picture of Sloop that says wanted for break and entry, wanted for assault of a priest, and wanted for general questioning.
Here, give. And he like takes it and he's like, look, is it anything like him? Does it look close?
It is pretty good. Like, it's pretty close.
They absolutely nailed it on this one. Look at that. That's so good. And
That's wonderful. That's wonderful, Sloop. But
Django like stumbles out of the like chair he was sort of lounging in. He had his hat on his face until the wanted poster hit him in the chest from Creek. And he's just sort of like stumbling forward. He was deep in the drink last night after getting back from the event, and he's just like, oh, geez. Once again, they really don't know how to draw a nose.
I don't think that's what we should be worried about. There's 2 wanted posters out, the 2 of us.
Yes, if I'm going to be wanted, I'd like them to get it correct.
So I'm assuming this means we're going to have to stay in a little while.
Yes, I think that would be best.
Puts his hand on his chest and says, you'll see to it that they have a place to lay low if things get too heated. I'll make sure nobody bothers you during your stay. It is paramount you keep a low profile, waiting for an opportune time to attack.
So stay in the beggar and cast today.
And he kind of gives you a nod. And then he...
No going out at all, mate.
No.
Look forward to seeing you around the cask. But it is paramount that you keep a low profile.
Understood.
Understood, Feathers.
Are you going to the parade tomorrow, Creek? He says.
Oh, that's right.
I suppose we should use today to discuss our next move.
Everybody's gonna be there.
Probably.
Everybody will remember us.
Yes, but the good thing about when everyone is somewhere, it means they're not somewhere else.
That is very true.
I love
Excellent
parades. Lots of empty shops.
An opportune time to attack.
Exactly. Huh? Let's take today to discuss. Stay low.
And yeah, he kind of gives you a nod and a bit of a shrug back and forth.
Is there anything else?
No, if you'll excuse me, I have business to attend to. And you see him open the door and walk out. He kind of leaves it open. And you just see him walk over to the railing, pick up a mug of ale, and just lean back, like looking over the bar.
Going to
Having
shut the door?
Calm morning beer.
Well, frankly, I'm glad for a low day. I'm exhausted.
Yes. Django.
Yes, love.
I feel like I owe you an apology for last night.
Oh, nonsense, dear. I'm a buffoon.
No, that's not what I meant. When you had a look on your face when I came out of that office, and I saw what I think I can infer what was happening to Pipper. I'm sorry I didn't let you go back and kill that doctor. If I thought we would have had time, I would have let you.
Not a problem, dear. Not a problem. I think I'll take the feathered friend's cue and go get myself some drink for the day.
All right. Won't be too long.
No, I'll be right back, and I'll be in this chair for the next 12 hours until I pass out.
That can't be good for your back.
There's little that is good for your back, dear.
Let me give you a hand, Django.
You must, Captain.
So Django and Lydia, you seek to spend the day drinking away in the chair. Sloop and Era, is there anything you wanted to do during the day within the tavern, or?
I did leave my ferret back at the Durays. I did say that I left her. I do not believe I'm in range to see through her.
No, she wouldn't have stayed in the mansion given the imminent threat of
yeah, I think
fire.
I left her out on the I think I left her out on the balcony. So she could have gotten away if she wanted to, because I did leave her on the balcony area.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so I mean, you would if you wanted to rekindle that connection and bring her kind of back to the cask or within range, you'd be able to do that.
Yeah, I want to do that.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of time. You can see that she's obviously gotten into some mischief over the night. Probably looted around a bit of the excitement, gotten a little bit lost, found some garbage cans full of delicious trash. But after probably about an hour, you can feel the pull getting stronger and stronger until you can tell she's within range.
All right. Well, then I think I'll go downstairs then to wait for her, because I don't think she's going to be able to get up there without being noticed. So I'm just going to wait for a little ferret to come through the door.
Yeah, if you go down to wait for her, certainly you'd be able to go downstairs and see that it is it's a pretty busy. It is a Saturday, so the tavern is got a bit more kind of day life in it right now. But you aren't particularly seeing anything in terms of like guards or anything of the like. You're able to kind of creak open the door, take a look outside. You can tell that the streets are quite busy. The area that the Beggar and Cask is in is very close to the trade square, and which you've kind of been told and we're aware that is much busier on the weekends. So
I don't suppose Captain Sybil is in the cask right now, is she?
In this morning, she is not. Though, if you wanted to write a letter or ask someone to get her, you could find someone to deliver a message.
I would like to, because I'd like to let her know about the necromancer lab that was in the Nure home. So if I can find someone who can deliver that message.
I mean, Creek is around, and generally pretty capable of repeating things directly back. Other than that, you could ask the bartender, or you could just hire
I think I'll go with Creek. I think he's the most reliable, and since he has to repeat what I say. So.
You find Creek upstairs, just up doing his regular lane, and he cocks his head as you come nearby.
So, we're supposed to be laying low today, but there's still work that needs to be done. Sorry, I bumped my mic. I need you to deliver a message, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
It's to Captain Sybil. And what was the name of the ship she was on?
Captain Haley Sybil of the Queen's Revenge.
Yes.
No, the Queen's Reckoning. He says, not screwing it up the first time.
I need to speak with her, and it's not something I think that I trust to be relayed over messages. This is something fairly important. Do you think you could go down to her ship and tell her that Miss Blackwood needs to meet with her in the Beggar and Cask?
Of course, love.
Thank you.
And yeah, you see him kind of get up and give himself a big stretch. He's a pretty plump bird. He rustles his feathers, downs his drink, and shoots you a little salute, and makes his way out.
All right, and I'll stay up in the second level where the railing is, and I'm just gonna kind of watch.
Sloop, anything particular you wanted to do, or just drink and eat?
Sloop takes the wanted poster and opens his bag where he has a little book, and he opens the book. It's just full of wanted posters from all over the place. And he slaps a new page in the book and kind of flicks through them and kind of sighs happily. And then he's just going to open the window and take in the sea breeze and enjoy his day off.
Yeah. It is a very, very nice day. It's kind of clear, pretty much clear skies out there as well. As I said, there's you can hear a lot of activity, but it's like warm, sunny, a great day to be stuck inside. Era, after a couple of hours, you do see Creek, about 2.5 hours, you see Creek kind of wander back in and makes his way up to you and says, you can tell Miss Blackwood that I'll be by later in the evening.
Thank you. And
yeah, Creek kind of stands there with his hand, just feathery hand, just kind of out in front of him for a moment.
Oh, hold on. I'm gonna drop a few pieces of gold in. Where are my manners?
And he gives you a little wink and says, well, nothing for free, nothing for free. And then you see him wander back downstairs to the bar, slap that gold coin, and get himself a drink.
Right.
Time passes throughout the day, and you see the sun go down. The bar lights up with more lively attitude. And then about an hour or so after sundown, you do see Captain Sybil walk into the bar.
All right. When Ara sees her, she's gonna wait for her to sit down and then make her way downstairs, order up an ale, and take a seat with her.
Yeah. She just she takes a seat at the bar this time, and happily kind of gives you a wave when you come in. You requested my presence. I suspect you have some news.
Oh, I have news for you.
Great.
So, I'm sure you heard about the fuss that happened last night.
Yes, I was there. It was quite a scene.
Oh, you were there?
Yes.
Well.
Not going to give up a chance to go to a fancy party.
Well, Captain, I believe I may have found the source of, or at least something that was causing a disturbance of what you were looking for.
Oh.
The basement of the Nere home. And a wannabe necromancer was dealing in things that I don't think he should have been. I saw a magic circle. It looked like it was protection, but there were scratched out runes, so who knows what it had been used for, really. But what I found most disturbing was a spider corpse that had been very obviously killed and killed and killed over again and brought back.
The common tactic of lesser necromancers, practice, as it were, I suspect.
Oh, yes. And, well, I'm sure you heard the news about Pippa Aaron.
Yes. Quite a touching reunion.
Well, I have reason to believe that the Nere doctor, the man who was running that lab, had a hand in what happened to Pippa, and that they may have been to further his research.
Interesting. He has been, released, escaped, I suppose, as it were. But I can certainly spend some time tracking him down and asking him some questions. It would be good to see what the doctor was doing to him.
I think that's probably a good idea. I'd suggest investigating whatever's left of that basement.
Yes, much of the mansion has collapsed in on itself at this point, but certainly I'll be, if there is a magic at the source, then I will be making sure that I'm allowed to inspect it.
Well, I may have seen some components that looked a little odd. So, if they survived,
Very good.
I think that you'll find them interesting.
I must thank you, Miss Blackwood. I will look into this post-haste and see what comes of it.
Of course. Best of luck.
Thank you. You as well.
Thank you. And she can take her ale back upstairs.
Yeah, and you see her, she kind of gets up, dusts herself off, does a shot of that awful seaweed stuff at the bar, and then makes her way to the door. Yeah, Django, Lydia, Sloop, anything in the evening you wanted?
Yeah, I think when while that's happening, Era's talking to Sybil. We'll be at the bar and a couple drinks in. What does Django look like at this point?
I would say Django. I would say Django actually probably wouldn't have stayed at the bar.
Okay.
He would have bought the biggest thing he can of the algae drink, which
Yep.
he would have just called the algae fuckery. And he would have brought it upstairs, and by the time Era's talking, like he's not wasted, but he's a little drunk, and I'd say he has his rapier out. He's just being a bit of a fool and just sort of pretending like he's dueling someone, even though he's not, and just sort of completely somewhat jovial, but not like just being a bit of a in the way, I'll say.
All right. So then I'll just kind of wander up after a little while, holding my mug and seeing him doing this. What are you doing?
Dear, I'm Captain. I am showing off my fine rapier skills. I am showing off my family heirloom. This rapier, gift from my father.
Family heirloom? How did you get it?
Well, of course, my mother gave it to me. I didn't know my father really.
Django, are you all right?
Of course I am, darling. What else would I be?
Not all right.
What makes you say such a thing? Django's always all right. As I'll take a swig of the algae, fermented algae.
You would have had 7 jokes by now, and you haven't said one. So what's the matter?
I'd like to think my not knowing my father in a tragic youth was somewhat of a joke, if you will.
First mate doesn't keep secrets from his captain.
And he'll kind of sheath his rapier and drop back down into the chair he's been in all day. Take a swig of the algae, fermented algae. You know, I guess you do know, I've been marooned so many times.
Yes, I'm not quick to forget the last one.
We got off that island, dear.
You did.
Took a few weeks, but traders, you know. And that's how I got off all of them, really. No fantastical stories, but each one, it took a piece of me, you know. Fingers, ears. Django's still alive. Cut me into 1,000 pieces and I'll still be alive. Forever. The immortal Django Weatherby Teague.
That you will.
But for all the glory I give to the stories of our pasts, I was not ready to see the condition of that young man last night.
Yes, that was terrible. I mean, I don't know what would possess someone to do that to another person.
Well, people don't belong in cages,
No, they don't.
even if they are tropical islands. you know, this little sword here. I don't know if you ever noticed, but it's bad, rather bad cover-up of an L.
Well, I noticed the moment I met you.
Yes, well, I had a choice that time. Marooning, or they would cut out my tongue. He's pretty deep in the drink at this point. This is really how I got my rapier. Took it off a dead officer. Didn't tell the captain. Next morning, he found me and my mate and gave us our choices. I took the marooning. They promised that no other vessel wouldn't know what liar I am. Corin, he took the plank. Good man, good pirate.
I'm sorry. I'm glad you took the island. So what would you be without your silver tongue?
Perhaps I'd still be with Corin. But I live on, the immortal Django of the BT.
And you will for many years to come, my friend. And I'll hold up my mug to cheers it. Take what you can.
The bar begins to pick up beneath you, as it sounds as if the echoes of your own cheers are almost echoed in the sounds of all the sailors and the like, all the pirates and vagabonds and dock workers and ruffians alike downstairs. While they cannot hear you, they certainly seem to feel your own spirit emanating through the whole place. And as the night goes on, the party seems to grow. You have picked up bits of conversation throughout the night, knowing that the parade, the Festival of the Sea, is tomorrow. And in true to any civic kind of holiday, the night before, everyone is getting about as drunk as possibly can, and enjoying the good wines. So yeah, I mean, if there's unless there's anything else, I think the night will carry on as you guys party on and enjoy your time until the sun rises again the next morning. Perhaps a little later in the day, a little groggier for some members more than others. But you awaken to the regular sounds of the breakfast rush down in the kitchen.
As usual, Era is probably the first stop. But instead of her usual going downstairs, she's probably going to stay up, wait for everybody, because we need to make a game plan for what we're going to do today. So, gonna wait for Lydia to get up, and then we'll wake the boys.
Good morning, Era.
Good morning.
Would you say that we've sufficiently laid low enough?
I think so. We've delivered some very vital information, and I think that all of the merriment today will be a good cover.
Yes. Good. I can't stay in here much longer. I'll go crazy.
But there is the very real question of how are we going to get to that ship? Because trying to last time nearly got one of us killed.
Yes. Well, and the boys are wanted, so that's another factor that we have to consider.
Well, I could change what one of them looks like, probably.
Yes. Django's very good at disguises, so he can probably handle that.
I could potentially polymorph Sleuth into something.
Right. But that doesn't solve the problem of what to do when we get to the ship.
Yes, and I wonder if, since Craig seemed to make an emphasis on people being not, people mostly going to this, I wonder if the dock workers won't be there. But that also raises the question. But then that raises the question, they're going to have more security, dock workers aren't there, if they have something that's going to end up causing that much damage to somebody just by looking with a spell.
Well, I think it's about time that we got into a fight.
I think so too. I'm a bit more prepared this time. So, should we?
Let's get the boys up and see what they think.
Hey, before we do, is Shango, is he all right?
He will be today.
All right.
All right, well, rouse the boys.
I'm going to retcon that polymorph thing because I forgot that's a 4th level spell. I don't have those yet.
How are you feeling? Bit of a headache, I'm sure. Should I lower my voice?
Darling,
I'm gonna go get some water for everyone.
what is going on?
We need you up. We need to move. We need to make a plan. You need to not look like yourself.
I feel regretful. I feel regretful. I said things last night, didn't I? All right.
You did, but you said them to me in the safe.
Django, can I get you to make a con save, please?
Yes, please and thank you. I'm gonna waste my reroll on my hungover con save. No, I'm not. That's a joke.
Wait to see what you roll first. Jeez.
I know. Oh god, it's gonna be green too from the algae if I throw up.
Oh yeah, it would be horrible.
Oh.
That's a 4.
Yeah, I'm gonna go downstairs and get some water. He's gonna need this.
I'm gonna hold his hair back.
He's already got his hair tied back, and his mutton chops are cut strategically, so it should be fine.
Yeah, this is why Django has mutton chops.
So you don't get
when he gets
barbed in the
sad
beard.
drunk, he always pukes.
Smart.
Django, you are poisoned for the next hour, as you.
Makes sense.
It'll shake off. It'll shake off in due time, but
yeah. So yeah, Django's immediately like,
better out than in, that's what they always say.
You don't want to see what it looks like when it comes out.
Oh, there we go.
I'll be
fine.
back.
It's fine.
That's a sailor's breakfast if I ever saw one.
It's fine. It's I've never been better. I could tightrope across the mast. I could
Django.
He'll throw up right after saying that.
Hey, there we go. Now it's a party.
And he'll see it's green and he'll just be like,
Oh,
that's peculiar.
I think that's quite enough of the algae for you.
All right.
you can hear it kind of eating away at the floor. Like
Oh.
every now and then, there's like a bubbling, like.
Ew. So I'm gonna come back upstairs with like some water because Django.
Eric, can you do something about that, please?
Oh yes, hold on.
No, I must ruminate in my shame.
No, you need to sit down and you need to stop talking.
No, Django, sit down, shut up, and drink this.
Yeah, there you go. Put your hat on your face and we'll get you when we're ready to go.
Oh,
Please,
my dear crewmates, you could not be treating me any kinder.
Are you still drunk?
Mhm.
A little bit.
All right,
It's
just
that-
drink. She's gonna like hand him a tankard of water. Drink this and just don't move, and I'll prestidigitation as many times as I need
You see
to.
Django immediately stumbling in the most horrible way, grabs like these empty glasses on the table from the drinking last night and puts it down, and he pours the last
No.
dregs of the algae
No.
in, so there's just
Nope.
like this much, and then fills it with water. And
No,
he's just like, no.
no,
Can I
no.
can
no,
I like
little
try to
Take it
bit.
away. No.
Can like someone
little
knock
bit-
it out of his hand, please?
A little bit of the squid's
Yeah, I'll
ink
punch it out
helps
of his
clear
hand.
your vision.
No, it doesn't.
You,
No, it doesn't.
that is
it
an old
really
wives'-
doesn't. You tell me that every single time you're this drunk. It's
Listen.
not going to work.
Listen, Django, I've
Oh.
probably
And he
had...
chugs the water with the tiny bit of algae. It's about 10% algae, fermented algae, and 90% water.
Django. I know that I've been in school a lot longer than you have, and I can tell you that is not how that works.
In the school of the sea, it's very different. If you go from really, really drunk to really, really sober too quick, you could die. It's dangerous.
Exactly. Listen to the dragon.
don't-
It is like coming up from the water from the depths too quickly. You get the bends.
Yes.
I've known
You
that.
get the bends? No, dude, that's your liver failing because you're abusing it.
And you see him like pulling his coat over him like he's cold. He's like, no, I'm fine. See,
Please.
I'm all better.
Where's your hat?
Going
all,
Where is your hat?
I'm all better.
Mhm. There you go.
Okay.
So
all right.
you next little bit, and as you do your kind of morning plans. I've just had our stream freeze, and I'm curious if it's just
Oh
me.
Jesus!
Oh
my-
no, mine
Okay.
froze too.
Suspicious.
Oh, look at my face. That was
no.
cute.
How do I stop this? My flux just went crazy.
We just had a technical error.
Uh-oh.
There was a network error.
How do I?
Veg said we dropped for 2 seconds.
Oh god. How do I turn this off?
Yep.
There you go.
Hello, welcome back. Excuse our minor technical hiccup. The internet, you know.
Oh, yeah,
So, I think we're all good. Yeah, I was just saying, everybody has a chance to water up and breakfast up over the next little bit as you plan for the day. If there's anything you wanted to plan before heading out into the streets.
Well,
Let's move quickly, though. We have much to do.
yes, we need to come up with a plan because you two are wanted, and
Yes.
not
It's all right,
sure
my
when-
dear. I'm a master of disguise.
I'm more worried about Sloop.
Oh, I've been
Right.
wanted many times and never found. I am a much wanted kobold.
Well, oh, dude, I don't know if I even want to do this. Question: does my cloak require attunement?
Yes.
Okay, never mind. I was going to offer to give him my fancy death cloak. If we avoid the main streets, I'm sure we'll be fine. But my worry is not how we get there, it's what we're going to do when we do, because I wasn't really able to elaborate a lot what I felt when I lost my connection, but there is something very strong. Whatever's protecting that ship is very strong. I can deal a lot of damage at once. I very nearly fell unconscious into the ocean. And if the dock workers aren't there, I can only imagine that security is going to be higher. So
Can't you just get rid of the magic? Don't you want of those wizards?
I mean, I can dispel. I'm a necromancer, Django. I'm good at raising the dead.
And I'm good at talking.
Well then, I guess
Sometimes.
So you can
one of
choke
us
the
goes
magic
first.
away then.
No, I can suggest to a man to go and trigger the trap, and then we go and you raise a skeleton from his corpse, and then we blow the bloody ship up, which is. Oh.
Or I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna ferret. My Jezebel's probably just like slaked around my neck like a scarf at this point.
Sure.
I'm just gonna pick her up off my neck, hold her up like a limp noodle. Or we can send her in again, and I can just not use the connection this time.
I think that's best. Have her go
I'll have
in and see and get some information, have her come back, and then we go from there.
If it is a
And-
trap, I might be able to disarm it before,
That's also true.
The
That
trigger
tail is
seems
very
to-
handy.
The trigger
all
seems
I've
to be
been
going.
known-
I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, I've been known to throw a heel out here or there. I've got
Well.
some lovely words that heal.
Oh, I know, because you used some of those lovely words when I was incapacitated.
I'm terribly sorry, my dear, I entirely forgot.
Fine, I don't expect you to remember much of anything right now. I'm actually quite impressed that you remember my name. So,
Erin.
No, that was the family.
I
Very close. Very
never-
close.
See,
Never
even
mind.
in my abysmal state, even in my doldrums, I am hilarious.
All right. So
Shall
the
we
trigger
move on
for
then?
I'll keep quiet.
the trigger for the trap, at least for what kicked me out, seemed to be when I sent Jezebel below deck. So I can have her explore the top of the deck, seemingly just fine. She might get picked up and moved, like last time, but she wasn't attacked. So maybe I don't know.
Do you have time to turn her into something else? Something not a ferret that would belong on a ship, maybe?
Maybe I can turn her into a rat. I
That's
can turn her
exactly
into
what
a
I was.
rat.
That was exactly what I was thinking.
Curious if the trap is permanent or if it is a charge situation.
Who knows? I mean,
There's only one
Well-
way to find out.
I have an idea. It's a little risky, but if you can get me back up, I should be able to heal myself just fine. We could try and intentionally set it off.
As long as you don't suffer too much and your body becomes ash and complete mangled mess, I'm
Okay.
no medic.
All right.
But,
Well, last time it was just like something hit my mind, and
I should be able to
I
take
have
care
a
of you.
feeling. I have a feeling that I have a bit more of an understanding of how to collect myself afterwards. I was quite shocked last time, so if I know what to expect, I should be fine. So I'm going to dispel Jezebel away, and I'm going to ritual cast this time, so I don't lose the spell slot. Bring her back as a little white rat.
Great.
A little white rat.
Yeah, so you are able to do that as all part of your kind of a morning breakfast, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And then are you making your way there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
On the
Good point.
way, I'll ask Sloop. Sloop, do you happen to have any more of those firebombs?
Oh, yes, I do.
In case things don't go quite as planned. Era gets zapped, and we might need to just burn the ship down.
Yes. Firebombs do very well against traps as a last-ditch effort, for sure.
So these two are like
Django will totally give him a fist
chaotic
bump.
duo.
Yeah. He's like rooting around in his bag, so he comes up with a firebomb and then fist bumps you and then puts it back in.
Not
Oh.
with the bomb!
Sorry. Once I get my hands on him, I have sticky fingers.
You
I'll let
two
beg
are
you.
a match. You two are a match made in hell, I swear.
Okay, so you make your way down to the docks, weaving in and out, I assume, of back streets and stuff to stay off the beaten path. You do see a couple of guard patrols go by, but they seem fairly standard. For the most part, you can tell that the waterfront of the docks is actually quite quiet today. You hear a lot of noise further up in the city, kind of closer towards the market squares. But it's down at the docks. It's been pretty quiet. As you approach the boat, you do see that there are dock workers still around, but it is significantly less than when you were down there the other day. Particularly on the wharf itself, you only see two guys standing guard at the bottom of the gangplank, not even on the wharf itself. or well, on the wharf, but not at the entrance to the wharf, way down at the gangplank. And then you see a couple of bodies up on the ship.
I can drop her now. Let her make her way on.
All right. See what she can find out.
All right. Please don't get distracted this time.
Would you like to make a stealth roll for me?
Sure. As me or as Jezebel?
As Jezebel. Assuming she is just going down, trying to get up the gangplank.
Yeah, and imagine because she's small, it probably won't be too hard. Or stealth. 15.
15, yeah. The dock workers seem to be in this kind of daze that they've been in before, and don't even clock the rat going by them.
All right. I think she's getting on. I'm gonna start looking. Just someone grab my shoulder, give it a squeeze if
I will.
need to. Maybe we should just make it look like we're walking or something. Not look suspicious. And yeah, I'm gonna phase out of my normal senses and enter Jezebel as a rat.
Okay. Yeah, so Jezebel climbs up onto the top of the boat, where you see what looks to be about 5 dock workers on the top deck of the boat itself. The boat has various kind of tiers to it. It goes up on both sides, a little bit further up in the back, and you know that on the front was where the stairwell is. And in fact, I think, Veggie, we can get the map up. Guys, to that.
The
Yay.
map.
Yay, I'd like to know where I almost died.
If y'all can see that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a ship.
Oh.
Sick.
I like those
Hopefully we won't
donkeys
have
on
to
the
burn
back
down this
there.
vessel because I'd love for you to
That's
have
a
it, Lydia.
boat.
All right, that is a boat. Lydia
So
wants
I just have
the
you
boat.
stuffed down in the bottom there.
Ship. Sorry.
Ship.
All right. Well, I guess I'm just gonna kind of have to make a beeline. I mean, she's a rat. Rats are fairly common on ships, so I don't imagine she would attract too much attention if she just kind of sticks to the perimeter, stays
Okay,
close to
can
the
you-
walls.
Can you even add Jezebel onto the map?
Whee.
Yeah. So as Jezebel kind of runs and starts making her way towards the stairs, one of the dock workers does, you see it kind of look over, but it doesn't, it clocks it, but doesn't really care or do anything. It seems like rats are not really its big concern, and it makes its way to the staircase again.
All right, bracing myself, going down again, and I'm
Okay.
ready for pain. I'm ready for pain.
Make a wisdom save.
Okay.
no.
I
Don't fail it. Please
Oh, I
don't
really-
fail it.
I really hope I don't, because I don't have any nat 20s to do it this time.
Please don't fail it.
17. But
I
I
hope
failed
that's
with
enough.
a 21 last time.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Damn it.
This is gonna hurt. It's okay though, I'm prepared.
Ah.
You got pretty good on the rolls. You take 13 damage, and your connection to Jezebel is severed.
Cool. Ow. Okay, ow, that hurt. Yep, it's still there. It's still there.
It's still there. All right.
Oh, but it didn't hurt as bad as last time. And some dock workers seemed to notice, but there weren't, nobody seemed to be worried about the rat on the ship. Oh god, my head. So, just a question, Sloop, did you tell us about all the guards stopping and looking directly at Era? Did that come up at all?
Oh, last time.
Yeah.
Because you were the only one who noticed, I think.
Yeah. I don't know if he would have said anything specific, but probably would. I think he did mention like they all,
Like that was weird.
yeah, that they're all like hive-minded or something.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think we discussed that.
Mm-hmm.
up. Are they looking at us?
You cannot see, walking along the dock, you can't really see the dock workers on the boat. Like the line of sight is broken.
All right. Well, I imagine I at least got a decent read that there aren't a lot of people on the boat. So realistically, we probably will be able to get on there without much issue. So
Right.
I'm gonna burn this now because if we're gonna get in an encounter, I'm gonna need it. My heal, what was it, like a 50% heal? How does that work?
33% heal.
How does it work? How does the heal work? What do I do?
It depends on what heal you have. I'm sure Veg will message you the
'cause I
here.
believe he said I had a 50%.
50% of total HP.
There you go.
Okay, and so I gotta do math
Thank you,
now. So my total. Does that mean
that would pick you up over your 13. Yeah.
Okay, so I just go back to 12.
Yeah. You'd go back up to
Nice.
Thank you for gifting me that. I don't remember who did, but thank you.
Yeah, so I think it's kind of you feel this like searing pain in your mind, but it seems lessened this time, and because you're kind of able to you brace yourself for it coming, and you're kind of able to steel against it and channel your own arcana to protect your own brain from this attack. You don't feel that sense this time that that the eyes are upon you in the same way that they were before, and you feel as if you have kind of guarded yourself against what this was.
Oh, that's all right. So last time this happened, do you remember when Lydia gave you that letter, the note that said the walls have ears?
Yes.
The first time this happened, when we got back to the room, I did a quick sweep to detect some magic, and the entire walls, all of the walls of our room were covered in eyes, watching. So I don't feel that same presence now.
You should still operate as if you did,
Yeah, but
just in case.
I don't feel it, but let's be honest, if they're watching us now, they're seeing the exact same wizard doing the exact same thing, so they'll already know.
We're found
But-
either way.
So I think it's a good thing, though, is that if I don't feel it immediately, they might not know yet, so we may have time. And quite frankly, we might just need to brute force our way on, because there's not as many men on that ship.
I am perfectly fine with that plan.
Let me
Oh,
try at least once, my old boat
Yes.
ship inspector.
Yes. Go
Gav,
ahead. Try that once
bit.
more.
If they are truly a hive mind, my spell should work on all of them.
Ah,
Oh, that is a interesting theory. Go on.
They seem
I'd like
rather
to see.
resistant to it, but let's go see. Jank,
Should I prepare a plan
Give
B
you-
just in case?
no, not yet, Sloop.
Okay, no.
Not yet.
Thank
Jangle
you.
will-
That is
Well,
last ditch effort.
walking through the street, you see him you all watch him do this, and it's as the actor feet just sort of occasionally dipping his hands in things along the dock to just swoop his hair back, untie his hair, just doing weird things to make himself look different that are very normal, puts his hand in the water of a barrel, slicks his hair back, just sort of straightens his posture. He still looks the same, but just has a different air about him, as I'll approach the sort of one of the dock workers in the same way I did that original time.
Yeah, and so there's the again, it's they're not all the way down at the dock, they're really
Mhm.
right up at the gangplank now. But as you approach, they just say, sorry sir, boat's closed.
Oh, dreadfully sorry, mate. I believe you are expecting me. I'm Mr. Willingham. I am the inspector for today's goods from the family. I have a crew coming in soon who will come with me to inspect your work today. I hope that you've done a good job for our what is the name of the family again?
Raymond
Radcliffe's.
or Radcliffe's,
No,
not Raymond. sorry.
Radcliffe's, that's right. That's right. I'm hoping that you've done a good job for our humble employers, the Radcliffe's. But I am in here today to take a look at this ship, and hopefully you'll cooperate and let me and my crew onto this vessel. I suggest you do so. The Radcliffe's are very concerned with progress of their project, and I will cast
Right.
suggestion on him.
Okay. I'm gonna get you to make a deception check along with that.
That makes some sense, yes. As I approach, looking ridiculous.
Don't forget, you have a reroll.
I do have a reroll.
Are you still drunk
Does
or hungover?
the suggestion target one or both of them?
Oh, let me check. If there's I think it's only one.
Or the hive mind?
That's my gambit. It looks like it's a single target. Yeah, it's a single target. It's a wisdom save. But let me make that deception check for you. Deception. One of my lowest.
What is the DC on that save?
Oh.
I think I'll use my reroll
Yeah.
for that nat one.
Yeah.
oh, Django.
There you go.
That's not great,
much
but better.
That's much better.
The DC is 15.
Yeah, you see it kind of wash over, and he just looks at you and says, "That's not the name of our ship, Inspector."
It's a real job. And Django,
the
Django-
unions around here are quite tight, and you see him
Django
kind of
is-
like wince and then just goes back to himself.
I will bring this up with the Ratcliffes and ensure that your records are correct next time I come down to the ports, because I am very upset that I wasted my morning. Good day, sir.
Nice day.
Oh,
And yeah, you guys just see him like watch him a little bit, and then he just turns back. And these guys are just like looking out into the ocean, basically.
So I'm guessing that didn't work.
No, they are some sort of emotionless monsters who don't appreciate.
Can I just go
Theta.
take care of them, please?
Please, Lydia.
Let's just go, please. You coming behind me?
I'm going
Fair
to
enough.
preemptively cast Mage Armor on myself because I have that for 8 hours and I'm not going without it.
Yep.
All right. Let's get this party started. So there's the 2 on the gangplank,
Correct.
right? Okay. All right. So
Django, for your reference, he rolled an 18 against you.
Oof. It's the booze.
Right? Django immediately, Django's like, I failed again.
Yes, you can drown your sorrows in algae ale later.
no, he's cut off from the algae ale. Good morning, gentlemen, as we're walking up to the 2 on the gangplank.
Hello, miss. The Harrier is closed. For
Yes,
civilians.
I've heard, but don't you recognize me? I am your boat inspector. Excuse me, your ship inspector.
No, I don't
Let
believe
me help
that's
you
correct.
remember. Let me help you remember, and I'll clap him in the face.
Yeah, they like look towards each other, and they're like, a second boat inspector.
Or wait, if they look, wait, if they look at each
Within
other,
2
can
seconds.
if they look at each other like that, can I bash their heads together?
I will allow it as a surprise. I'll let you roll an attack against both of them, and then everyone roll initiative.
So excited. That's awesome.
Select your token and roll initiative.
Oh,
They rolled a 1 and a 5 against boat inspector. I was like, are they gonna fall for that?
I was kind of hoping they would. All right, what are
I
we,
mean,
what
it
are we
would
doing
be
first?
amazing if they did.
Do you want the unarmed strike first, or do you want the initiative first?
Yeah, give me an unarmed strike against both of them, and then the initiative.
Yeah, that
Why
wasn't good.
can I not see my token?
Mm, all right, and then initiative.
There we go.
Oh,
Roll 20s.
didn't hit my token again.
I want to get these guys up here.
My Roll20 is fighting me. I'm so sorry.
Ooh.
Trying to get myself selected here.
These guys and these guys.
Please tell me I was selected.
Oh, I forgot to select mine and got much lower.
I'll fill you in with
this-
I did.
your.
This is better than I usually roll in my initiative, so I'll take it.
Lydia, you got a 13.
And well, the 13 was the first. Well, okay. I didn't select
yeah,
the
I'll-
token the first time, so if you want to not use that
Yep,
one because I
yep.
didn't follow the rules.
Oh no, that's fine. I'll allow it.
All right. Cool.
And then Sloop with a solid 5.
I remember
Woo!
to select my token.
Oh,
Oh, more
it's
slow.
supposed to be the fast one.
I know.
Sloop should get
Surprisingly
advantage
low.
for selecting his token while the rest of us
Yeah,
didn't.
Hey, I'm pretty sure I selected mine too. Come on, I think. I don't know. Mine was fighting me. I couldn't tell.
I got the orange rectangle up. You didn't do it right.
Yeah, it was really aggressive.
No valid token was selected.
Sloop's going last
okay,
because
so
he assumes he's not needed at all in this. He's just like cruising in the back with his arms crossed, just like, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Yeah, I imagine him just like holding the firebomb in his hands, like I
Is
can't
it
wait.
time?
It's like a kid who just found like the biggest lollipop in the candy store.
I too am a boat inspector.
No. Specifically, you were a boat demolitionist.
We are all the boat inspector.
Lydia, you got 11 on that unarmed strike. Did you roll a second one?
Yeah. Oh no, but I am now.
The 11 is
Oh
not
my
a
God.
hit.
11 and 12.
The 24 is. I'm giving you advantage because you have surprised the two of them. So you may
Thank
hit him.
you. Okay. All right. Oh nope. Dang it! I hit the wrong thing again. I forget how to do damage.
Just click the word unarmed strike in the chat box there under your.
Ah, thank you.
And you should be able to
There
go
we
into
go.
like the actual cog settings and fix that with a toggle. But...
Okay. 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, so you go to kind of grab the two of them together, and you kind of lose your grasp on the first guy's hand and just bring the other guy's head in and kind of like sandwich him between two of them. And then Django, you are up first as Lydia kicks off the brawl.
I think you're
You're
muted.
muted.
You're muted.
Sorry about that. Django will immediately draw his rapier and sort of, as well as drawing his little quill, and I will extract the poison from the quill onto my rapier, and then I will go for an attack, melee attack on the nearest dock worker to me.
Yep.
Okay.
That can be either of the ones on the front.
All right, I'll attack the one on the right.
Okay, that is the wounded one.
Okay.
13 hits.
Nice.
Nice. Okay. Oh god, I completely. Oh, there it is. All right, so that's 3 piercing damage. Oh, I'll roll 1 on my rapier roll. 3 piercing
Aw.
damage, and then they. So just a clarification for you, Agent. The poison damage, is it a DC 18 con save to receive the damage or for the poison condition with the damage?
I believe for the poison conditioned.
Okay, so then they need to make a con save to avoid being poisoned, and I will be
They
dealing.
critically fail it.
So they are poisoned,
Ooh.
and they are going to take 4d6 poison damage.
Wow, that's a lot.
Ooh.
Yeah, I got some poison ink.
Very nice.
That is 14 points of poison damage.
Ooh.
This
14.
right here is why you don't draw on your skin with Sharpies.
Yeah, you see Django sink this black poisoned rapier into the guy's shoulder, and then you just see this, like, across his exposed skin, it creep out
Ooh.
all across him as he kind of goes to, like, yell out in pain and stumbles backwards just into the water. As he floats back up, you can just see his mouth agape in this black poison running through all of his veins, his skin gone totally white.
When he comes up out of the water, Django me is like, ah! Like afraid of the thing he wrought.
Is he dead? I just need that clarification now.
He is dead, yes.
All right, nice.
The other dock worker upon seeing this, upon really trying to get his head smashed, goes and grabs a light hammer at his side and takes a swing to Lydia. Lydia does a, let me just make sure I got this right. 13 hit you?
Nope.
Then, you see this kind of like hooked hammer swing wide on you, but you manage to avoid it. And then you are next in the queue.
Okay. So I am going to, as like the hammer comes and I dodge it as I come back, I want to just try and go right for his face.
Go for it.
17.
17's a hit.
Woohoo. 10 points
10.
bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, you crack right in to him with a satisfying crunch noise.
Yeah, nice. And how's he looking?
He's looking beat up. He's got a bit of blood coming out of him, but he's still standing.
All right. I would like to hit him again. I wish I had advantage. 14.
14 is a hit. Yes.
Ooh.
All right.
18. Yeah, you swing back with another hook and crack him. Now you see he's kind of you see almost like a blur of recognition behind his eyes as he comes back into himself and then tries to straighten back up again towards you.
Huh. All right. I want to expend a key point and flurry of blows. And if either of these hit, seeing that look, I don't want to kill him. I want it to be non-lethal.
Sure.
Just knock him out. All right, here we go. Pop, pop. 15.
15's a hit.
6 points of bludgeoning damage.
That just does it.
Right.
Yeah, you just give him another kind of crack right in the head, like right between the eyes, and you just see him crunch backwards on the gangplank. You do start hearing some noise, mostly like shuffling and stuff coming up from the docks, but no conversation from up on the boat itself.
All right, so kind of just I'll turn to my companions really quickly. Leave him lie. Let's go. And I will take out my sword and start moving up the gangplank.
All right.
Yeah, you're able to just basically make it all the way up onto it and hop onto the boat, where you see a collection of dock workers turn to face you. Ira, you are next.
I think you know what I want to do. I'm going to cast Animate Dead on the one that Django has poisoned.
Oh, you bet Django's gonna be scared of that thing.
Oh my god.
So Era, for all the time you guys have fought with her, she's had like an air of spook that has been intensified as this really sickly greenish yellow magic seeps into this corpse and awakens it.
Okay, can you link the spell there in the chat for chat and also for me? Abundance, revive bones, medium, etc. Fell mimicry of life. The target becomes a skeleton if you choose bones, or a zombie if you choose a corpse. So a zombie, I suppose. Each of your turns, you can use a bonus action to mentally command the creature. So let's. Do we have a little zombie or something here? Veg, yes, we do. So prepared. So you have this now floating reanimated corpse that looks just horrific because of all this poison that's gone through it. Yeah, Django, you're looking down like at horror in this thing as it like kind of cracks and snaps as this magic.
Oh, I didn't know it did that.
Oh no,
You see
Django,
it
that
trying to
wasn't
put, like,
you.
a hand on the boat. and steady itself.
Yeah, Django, that wasn't you. This is what I've been working for. And can I move it in this turn, or?
Yeah, on each of your turns, you can use a bonus action to mentally command the creature.
All right, well, I'm gonna mentally command this thing to move, and I want it to start walking up after Lydia. And as
It will
soon as
have
it's
to climb the side of the boat, but you see it just basically like you see it grab onto the boat, and like the flesh, this poisoned flesh, just like tear back on its hands as its skeletal hands just like dig in like knives, and it just, without even using its legs, just using its front arms, goes one hand over the other, rolling a 19 on its athletics check.
I don't like that.
Lydia,
I am a
just
proud
crawl up over the boat.
Ah!
Stand up next to you.
I knew you were weird, but
Listen, this is what I went to school for.
school.
Yes. So, how much of its movement is like? Does that take all of its movement?
That'll take its whole movement this turn. Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. Then I'm just gonna leave it up there and use my movement to get my butt up onto the boat with Lydia.
Yep.
And
I'll move you
that's
just up there.
Thank you, because I can't seem to move my own token, and it's like it lets me select it, but my Roll20 is being fucky. It won't let me move anything.
No worries. Yeah. Okay. You see a couple of the dock workers who are up on the upper part of the deck. You see them kind of grab a couple of ropes and begin pulling down at it. Lydia and Ira, you look up to hear the whistling sound of a crate being loosened from a crane towards you. Can I get you both to make dex saves?
Oh,
got it.
This is where I die. I finally got to raise.
Ooh, that was terrible.
Finally got to raise a corpse.
DC 13.
8.
You did better than I did.
Oh, I'm so glad I didn't have disadvantage though.
Oh wait, I think I have a +6. Yeah, I have a booster. I'm gonna use that.
Do it.
Better hope you roll 3 or higher.
Yeah.
Don't jinx her. Be nice to the dice.
Oh,
Nice
see,
save.
I didn't
there
jinx
it
her.
is.
I
Yeah.
offline bardic inspiration to her.
Yeah, you did. Thank you.
I IRL bardic inspiration.
So you both see this coming and kind of dive out of the way as it comes crashing down between you, doing 5 damage, but cut in half for your dex save, so only 2 damage each.
Yay.
Okay.
As this box explodes on a low roll.
Listen, I'm a wizard. That 2 damage could make a difference.
The other dock worker, you can see he kind of makes his way to the top of the stairs, but can't quite get close enough to do anything to you. And then Sloop, it is your turn.
Sloop just sees those 2 dock workers immediately go down, like the zombie climb out and the box fall, and he walks past the unconscious dock worker, and he's just like,
Next time, you always let the boat inspectors on.
and he's gonna run up next to Lydia and Era. How much distance would that take? Oops.
It'll take you about 30 feet to just run up the gangplank and get onto the boat. You can get where you are there. I'm pretty loose on movement rules.
Then can I bonus action dash and try to start like climbing the mast in the center there? Would that be a thing?
Yeah. I'll take an athletics or I guess an athletics check to climb it.
Athletics, okay. Oops, that's the wrong one.
Unless you want to argue for doing something sweet like cutting a rope and sailing up.
I would love to cut a rope.
Like a sandbag.
Cut a rope. I always want to cut a rope.
Yeah, then I would allow for acrobatics if you
Jack
want to do
Sparrow that shit.
Yeah, let's go
Okay,
full
good.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
That's
Hell
kind of
yeah.
how I want to flavor my my second story work. That's the I don't take extra movement when I climb.
climb
Just
faster than normal,
chop that
right? Yeah.
rope.
Nice.
Yeah.
20 on the acrobatics, 10 plus 10. God damn. Yeah,
Gross.
You see that like they're still setting up a lot of the rigging on the top of this boat. Not everything is kind of impacted properly, but the sails have been closed up, and you're able to find kind of a sandbag that has been keeping weights down. So you just grab onto the rope, do a quick cut, and you go flying up the mast.
And then I just want to use my action to do perception to see if I can get a good idea of what's going on the boat.
Yeah, go for it.
Perception.
Like the one with the fire bombs is being the one trying to make sure that we're not don't have guards after us yet.
He's looking for a good place to drop those fire bombs.
Yeah, so I mean, you can see on the top of the boat, you can see everything that you can kind of see there on the map with a 15. You have no problem looking around. You see kind of some escape rowboats and some weaponry in the back, the capstan for lowering the anchor right below. There is a set of doors right here that lead into what you can safely assume is a captain's quarters. You can also see that there are hatches, a large hatch in the center, a smaller hatch over by the stairs, and then the stairs themselves at the far end.
Okay.
Looking out, scanning kind of the dock line as well, where the wharfs and everything are, you don't spot any guards or any kind of additional attention being drawn to you guys.
Okay, so yeah, whips up to the top and then...
Looks like we're clear. Just these ones on the boat. Do your stuff, Lydia.
And then, yeah, two of the dock workers on the far side of the boat both rush forward. They can't obviously get to sloop. I think this one actually is going to start climbing up after you, though, as the other one is going to... I want to say run forward and stab that zombie, and I think that's going to have to be what he's doing.
What kind of got him.
Strange crisis of faith he must be having to be like, oh, Bob, no. Do you know what his AC is? I'm going to assume a 20 hits him.
Yeah, probably. I don't think I have a handout. Oh, there, I do have a handout.
He does take 6 damage as you see this. He's just got this like long bill hook, and he basically runs across the deck and impales it into him. And you just see that zombie kind of like groggily look up at him, not unaffected, but not screaming out in pain or anything of the sort.
Oh, my zombie's gonna take a bite out of your face when he can, dude.
And then we are back to the top of the turn order with Django.
Okay. Let's take a look at this battlefield. What can Django do? Okay. Okay. So I can't, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20. All right, so Django is going to use his full movement to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So he's going to get right there. I'm going to look to these two in front of me.
Yep.
And I'm going to cast Psionic Blast on them, which is a 30-foot cone. They each need to make a dexterity saving throw. They need to beat a 15.
They both fail.
On a failed save, they take 5 D8 force damage. Do I have this in? Because I know this was in. Yeah, there it is. All right, so they both take 21 points of force damage and are pushed back 20 feet.
This is to these two guys down here?
Yes.
5, 10. This guy is off the boat. He's gone.
I think they both are actually.
5,
it's
10,
20
15,
feet.
20. This guy is off the boat. So you
Well
just
done.
Django, tell us what this looks like.
All right, so Django first screams at the zombie that came up in total, utter hungover fear. Just a straight like Jack Sparrow style running from animals, like, as he runs across the deck. pushes his back up against the mast, kind of like he's hiding from them, and then looks and sees the two in front of him, two dockhands from him, and just I'm trying to think of what I want this to look like. I think he does the exact same scream at these two, but taps into the weaves of magic and the strings of reality with his words, and just fires off this it just looks like shockwave towards them.
Shockwave.
And they go flying.
Yeah.
It's all out of fear. None of it is bravery.
Them. One of them kind of cracks against the edge and topples right over. The other guy on the upper deck, just with the angle you hit him at, you just see him get picked up, hit the wind, and kind of just go whoa.
Yeah, I literally Fusro-da'd him for sure.
yeah. So the two of those guys are effectively out of this. Lydia, you are up.
All right. As that happens, I watch them go sailing over the side. I look at Jay and go, I wanted those two. And then I'm going to turn around and I would like to move here. Would I be flanking with the zombie?
Yes, you would.
Heck yeah. All right. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, may I describe this beautiful sword that you designed for me?
Oh, absolutely.
This beautiful sword. So this is the Stormlord's cutlass, and it's the edge of the cutlass glistens with the diamond dust that has been worked into the steel. A golden handle wraps around the fist in an ornate spherical design, and the pommel is inset with flawless aquamarine gemstone. It's good looking. So I'm going to swipe at that dock worker with my sword. Now, I want to expend one of the charges, and I want to cast Call Lightning. Is that my only action, or do I also get to make a sword attack against him?
Using Call Lightning requires you to focus it, so it's like casting a spell. So it will take your entire action to do that.
Okay.
I believe that one takes multiple charges as well.
Yes, it does. Yeah, there's 4 of them. Yeah. Okay. So, how do we do this in Roll20? Stormlord's Cutlass. There we go. All right. So, 28?
28 to hit?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. All right. So then I believe I would go to spells. I'm sorry, I'm a Roll20 dummy.
If you were casting Call Lightning, each creature within 5 feet of that point must make a dexterity saving throw. A creature takes 3d10 lightning damage on a failed save, or half as much as on a successful save.
Okay.
So I don't know if you're aware, this spell you can concentrate on for up to 10 minutes.
I'm aware.
Okay. Great. He makes a dexterity saving throw, which he rolls a 8.
Which person are you attacking with this?
This one. This guy right here.
The zombie will also need to make a dexterity saving
throw. Oh god, please don't.
Yeah, because he's within 5 feet. Damn it, I'm sorry.
And he has a
I could allow you to target it kind of on the stairs there. So if you wanted to avoid the zombie.
I would appreciate it.
I would like to avoid the zombie. She worked really hard.
I don't want to kill that poor
zombie,
so
she worked really hard on it.
Yes, let's be concerned about the zombie and not the brainwashed dockhands.
Listen, the zombie used to be a brainwashed dockhand, okay?
3d10 damage.
Yeah. All right.
Ooh, good. 23. So you begin on this what has been a beautiful clear day. You begin to see kind of this cold wind whip around, and clouds start forming above you, as a unmistakable crack of lightning comes down through them, and sears through the dock worker. Amazingly, it seems as if he's been hit by this. It's just struck right through him and worked its way down into the ship. You can see the burn marks, the electrical burn go all over his arm and down to his leg, and he kind of just like turns back to you with a glimmer of life left in his body.
For my bonus action, I would like to. What's my note card? I would like to make a Kensei shot, which ranged attacks with a Kensei weapon deal an extra 1d4 damage.
Okay.
So this is just going to be a straight
I'll allow that.
sword. Is am I not following the rules?
Yeah, no, go for it.
Okay. 19. All right. 11.
That'll do it.
Plus, okay. Plus
Well,
the
that'll
extra
do
1d4.
Yeah, you feel free to describe it.
All right. So after just totally electrocuting this guy, I'm going to bring my sword up and just kind of like run it right through him, right through the middle, and just like really quick, like in and out, and just like be ready to move to the next person.
Yeah, and he just kind of slumps to the ground. His knees buckle underneath him, and he is toast. That is your turn.
Mm-hmm.
Era, you are up next.
All right. I was just checking to see if this was a concentration spell, and it is not. So,
This
I know
dock worker
I'm-
ahead of your zombie is partway up the mast, by the way.
Okay, so he's not going to go for him. So what am I going to do? I'm not going to fireball yet. Not quite yet. Let's see. Let me get a measuring tool out, see who's within 60 feet here. Oh, well, I guess I could send zombie over to that one. He would just make it.
There is a set of boxes there. He will have to make some sort of athletics
that's
check if he wants to get over them.
boxes.
But yeah, you
Is
could
there-
do that.
Is there anyone else closer?
There is not. There is only him and the guy on the mast remaining.
Okay, well then that's exactly where Zambi's gonna go, because Zambi's not gonna go climbing. So
Cool.
what does he have to make?
An athletics or acrobatics check to zombie his way through the box.
Zombie parkour.
I mean,
Oh
we,
my
we
God,
did just
zombie
watch this
parkour.
zombie literally climb up the side of a boat using skeleton claws. So
I'm gonna. Athletics is strength, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm gonna go athletics, and that's just a strength check, right? Because I don't
Basically,
think he has
yeah,
any. Okay. 15.
15, yeah. Yeah, you see, so you send the zombie up, it just goes racing up the things, and then just basically starts pushing these boxes out of the way with this unholy strength that you have imbued back into its body, making its way directly to this other dock worker.
I am a proud mother. Is that its entire action, or is that just his, or can it still attack? Hold on.
At 60 feet, that's probably both of his action and his move.
Yeah. All right. And that was a bonus action to do that. So I think I'm going to. Let's see what the range on this is. I might toll the dead, the dude that's going up our sloop. Yeah.
Go for it.
I'm gonna do that. He needs to make a wisdom saving throw, and I believe my DC is 14.
He rolls a 6.
Wow, ow, oof. Well then, hold on. If he, I haven't used a spell in a long time. Or take 1d8 if any target is missing.
He is
If the
not
target's missing
damaged,
any of its
so-
hit points, so 2 necrotic damage to that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, you see him climbing up as this dong comes across him, and he shakes his head a little bit, but keeps going.
All right. that's my
And
turn.
then, yeah, so this dock worker is just had this zombie come racing towards him. Without a doubt, he is. I think this guy, seeing that it's his buddy, is actually going to grab the ropes that he recently cut for the boxes and stuff, and he is going to try to grapple the zombie with him using his special rope ability.
So I'm guessing that means contested
so-
strength.
Yep, it's going to be tough to beat. That is a 24.
That was a 13.
Whoa.
The zombie doesn't make it.
No.
Yeah, so He kind of, you see him wrap the rope around him as the zombie is like going through the boxes, and he's able to just kind of like step back as the zombie gets just tied off kind of to that mast temporarily. The
Do
zombie
you know how hard it is to make one of those?
The zombie is undamaged and can make a strength check on its turn to break free.
Seemingly easy, darling. I made one without intending.
You didn't make that one, Django. But thank you for killing that man so I could.
You can't prove it.
I can if I kill you and turn you into one.
Oh, I'd be a dreadful zombie.
And yeah, that zombie, that dock worker is going to also step away, so the zombie can make a attack of opportunity with disadvantage.
Okay. Oh, please, Zambi. What would that just be? Just a slam attack, I guess. That's the only attack it has.
Yep. Yep.
17 or a 19?
That'll hit. For 2 damage. Yeah, so the zombie, like, getting tied up, still has one hand free, and you see it just kind of rake these like poison skeletal claws across the back of that dock worker as he makes his way down to the lower deck to face off. That leaves Sloop up top. You have one pirate coming up after you.
Okay. How far away from me is he?
He is not moving as fast as you. He didn't do a sweet rope trick to get up there. So he is only about 15 feet up. You are probably, geez, how tall are boats? Like 60 feet up?
Okay.
You can kind of go where you wanted to on that mast with your move.
Yeah, I guess if there's like a sweet, half, I don't know what the ones that go sideways are, but a half one, I would love to set up a sword fight on that at some point. So I'm gonna chill out there.
Okay.
And I guess he actually just sits down on the mast and is like watching the lightning strike and watching like the zombie do its work and seeing all these guys go down. And he like looks down at the guy climbing and he's like,
Oh, geez, you never chase the guy at the top.
And I want to look at
101.
those cannons. What are those cannons pointed at?
The cannons on the front of the ship or the back of the ship?
Both.
The ones at the front of the ship are pointed in towards the city. The ones at the back of the ship are just pointed out to the ocean.
Okay. Can I see the church from here?
You would not be able to. You would maybe be able to, actually.
Okay.
You'd be able to see parts of it sticking like out, but it is like a couple sets of streets back. It would be a hell of a shot.
Right. So yeah, I guess Sloop's gonna take note of that and take out his rapier, kind of swing it around and start balancing, being like,
Yeah, this will be good.
and I'm gonna wait for that guy to come up.
Okay, Django, you are up.
Muted.
Okay, so Django will look around and see this one dockhand here and kind of leering at him, and will he step out? He'll kind of like lean against the mast, come out with his rapier pointed towards him, and say, "Two wrongs don't make a right, mate. Take your parents as an example," and cast vicious mockery.
A save, is it?
Great.
Yes, that is a
Sure, a fail.
Yeah, it's a wisdom save, 15 DC.
He rolled a 3.
Okay, I mean it's
Guys
not.
are not doing well for the dockhand.
All right, so that is that should be. Why does it say 1d4? It should be 2d4, I think. Yeah, so it's my character sheet says 1d4, but it's supposed to be 2d4 at level 5. So I'll just roll it twice, I guess.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so 6 points of psychic damage, and the next attack roll made against him. Oh, they have disadvantage on their next attack roll.
Their next attack.
Because
Excellent.
their ego is wounded.
You see him wince to this and kind of crack his neck, but continue towards you with this kind of like straight face on him. Sloop, you up on the mast, have the remaining dockworker climb his way up. I'm gonna say he gets right up there if you're up there waiting for him, and you see him pull a short sword out and come carefully charging at you on the top. He makes a 19 to hit you.
That is a hit.
Doing 9 damage. Max rolling on a d6.
Oh no! Not Sloop!
Yeah, you.
Sloop is like,
My friend, you are outmatched. I have spent my life on this ship, and the life of a young dragon is like, ow! Oh, okay. I shouldn't have waited.
My son!
Sloop, if you die, I can reanimate you too.
Thank you.
Don't say that to my child.
He's not your
then-
son,
Our
damn it.
child.
Oh,
Lydia,
yeah,
you are up next in the queue.
Okay. All right. I would like to use my movement to get, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, I want to get over to the side of the boat over here where the those guys went flying off. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. All right. What are they doing?
You see them kind of like bobbing about and swimming for shore. They seem quite disoriented and wounded.
Okay. I would like to use the second charge of Call Lightning.
Okay. Yeah. So they gotta make dex saves. I'm gonna say while they're not 5 feet apart, they are in water.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna allow you to extend that radius and hit both of them with it.
These poor gentlemen.
Ooh, fuck. One got a nat 20 and the other one got a 18.
All right, so they'll take half damage.
Still gonna hurt.
They don't have a lot of life left in them. So
Yeah, I dealt 21. I dealt 21 psychic damage to them. I was hoping
Yeah.
they would just be
I'm
have a
finishing
headache and
the
go
job.
home. We don't have to kill everyone, darling.
Yeah, we do. We knew. I need an army here.
Oh wow.
Who am I hanging out with?
Oh yeah, Era hasn't been this way around you guys yet.
You see the lightning crack down again and just hit the water, and it boils up around them, and you just see them floating face down.
Oh, it smells so bad.
Okay.
Fishes are gonna eat good tonight.
I would like to use my bonus action to use a key point and use Step of the Wind. And I want to get over to this guy. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Yeah, no problem. You get in his face. And that is all your movements.
That is
Era,
everything I can do.
You are up.
All right. Well, first I'd like to see if my little zombie friend there can make his
Yeah, make a strength check.
save. All right. I need to name this zombie. His name is Herbert now. All right. I don't know. He's still stuck. All right.
Yeah, you just
All
hear
right.
this like.
It's impossible to find. It's impossible to find good help these days. And do I just want to check a fireball at this point? No, I don't want to destroy the ship. Lydia wants it. I don't want to destroy it yet. Actually,
I don't think
magic,
this is our last fight.
I think we're going to magic missile, the one that's going up after Sloop. I think I
Okay,
can
go
reach-
for it.
I think I can reach that because it's 120 feet. I'm pretty sure he's in range.
I believe magic missile just hits, so you can roll damage.
Yeah, and I'm going to cast it at 2nd level.
Cool.
give me some extra.
12 force damage.
And it's supposed to be 4 of them, right? Because it's 3 plus.
I think it
It's
does.
3 plus another one because I rolled a second.
Yeah. So the 10 is 3. You can see there's 3 d4s in there and then 1 d4 in the other.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so you see Sloop you up on the mast. This guy comes in and gives you a stab. He kind of steps back, and then you just see this collection of these quick little darts fly up and crack him in the side a couple of times as he almost loses his balance and then steadies himself back into like a dueling stance.
They're all the same sickly yellowish green that Eris magic has always been.
Oh, that gross magic. Lydia, this dock worker in front of you is going to pull out a hammer and take a swing.
Bring it.
17 to hit.
Damn it. Yeah, that's crazy.
For 8 damage.
8 damage. Okie dokie. Okay.
And he kind of, you see as he goes and he cracks up against you and goes like, "The boat is closed to civilians."
I don't give a fuck.
And then Sloop, you're up.
Okay. So those magic missiles hit him, and I'm kind of like,
Thank you very much.
and then I'm going to, with my bonus action, I'm gonna like sort of feint like I'm attacking him with my rapier, and reach around him with my tail, and I'm gonna use a bonus action sleight of hand to try to tie a rope around his legs.
Okay. Yep.
So that's part of my thieving. I get to make a sleight of hand check as my cunning action.
Oh yes, it succeeds. I don't even think he needs to roll against that at 27.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
And then I'll just, pull the rapier back and be like,
Never watch the hands, always watch the tail.
and then I'm going to use the shove action.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's an opposed
Oh, so
athletics
good.
check.
Yeah.
To which I guess he's restrained, so he's going to get disadvantage on it. He rolls a 10.
Ooh, I'm going to use my reroll. that I
5.
just got.
15.
Oh, thank you, Anna.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for those bits. I'm going to use that reroll immediately. Oh, no.
He rolled. The other guy rolled a 10,
Oh
though, right?
no.
He rolled 10 plus 5.
Oh.
Yeah. So you see him. He's doing the whole like wave back and forth, and he just seems to be like a one of those like inflatable tube mans. It's almost as if the rope has managed to give him some more balance up on this little beam.
I swear I'm
and you're
gonna
gonna
knock
see-
that
sees him
guy off.
teetering, and he's like,
No, now you go. You're all the way. Go. Off
and Django, you are up.
Okay, so Django kind of feeling a bit more confident because there's less of them and Lydia's between him and one of them. He'll sort of stand up from his somewhat cowering position, and you'll see he kind of stumbles forward, still a little hungover, as he just sort of like points his rapier into the ground for a moment cartoonishly, and then pulls it out and just points it at the dock worker in front of Lydia, and I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers on him
Ooh.
at first level.
One of my-
That
one of
is a
my
DC
favorite
15
spells.
save. Wisdom.
He fails with an 8.
Okay. All right, so that'll be 3d6 damage. Psychic.
7.
For 7 psychic damage, as he'll just what he'll whisper to him is something deeply filled with ennui that is just going to make this it's just so poetically sad when he whispers to this dock worker mentally. I wish I had something, but think of it like the To the Pain monologue from Princess Bride.
Yeah, Lydia, as he is like clashed in combat with you, yelling at you about how the boat is closed, you just see this like single tear leap out his eye and roll down his cheek.
Oh.
Excellent.
And then,
And what I'll do then is I'll just use my bonus action to give Lydia 1 point of bardic inspiration.
and is there another effect that Dissonant Whispers causes?
Oh, there might be. Let me double check.
You see something there? about
Seems like
having-
it should. Yes. Dissonant Whispers. Oh, yes. Yeah, that's right. It must immediately, on a failed save, it takes the damage and must immediately use its reaction, if available, to move as far as its speed allows away from me. In this case, out of sadness, not fear.
Yeah.
And the creature doesn't move into obviously dangerous ground, so he won't like run off the edge, but he will leave Lydia's opportunity attack range.
Oh yeah.
He go closer to the zombie.
He will move closer to the zombie, actually, yes.
As he's leaving and still yelling, "The boat is closed!" and it's like, "I don't care!" and I want to
And
clock
weeping.
him with my clock him with my fist.
I don't believe you get an attack of opportunity because he moves like not of his will.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
really? I thought that opportunity attacks were just when you leave the melee range of someone.
I believe
Whichever
my
way is
understanding has always been that it's if it's of their own will, it provokes an attack of opportunity. But things that like
Cool.
Did not
push
know
them
that.
out of range and stuff don't. I think it's a bit of a weird rule, but I'm gonna keep on.
Interesting.
That. Yeah, Veg is saying their force movement does not proc AOE's.
Cool.
Did not know that.
Good to know.
Tech God has spoken. So.
So we're gonna go with
all I
that.
cared about was his sadness, so I'm cool with that.
Yeah, he is very sad.
Stop
Django.
taking my targets.
Up on the rooftop, tick, tick, tick. This guy is, I guess he's going to try to get out of the rope, but he is unsuccessful. And so he spent the turn like fussing because he can't move any closer to you, really. Can't attack you. You're out of range. So yeah, he wastes his turn basically rolling a 5 on his strength check. And then Lydia, you were up.
Okay. Pissed that this guy moved away from me. I'm going after him. So do I need to run around this barrier here?
You can.
Is that a
you can reach
barrier?
him. No, you can reach him, no problem. Yeah.
All right, cool. Okay. Yeah, going to hit him with the short sword. The cutlass, I mean.
Go for it.
Natural
That hits.
20.
And it's
Mm. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, 8 points of piercing damage.
That's doubled because crit, right?
Yeah. Although
I think
it's just
five
the
is,
3. Yeah, 5's the modifier.
Yeah. So
So 11.
yeah, you reach up with this sword as lightning comes and cracking down and hits the sword as you slice it towards him, and you see it arc off for the extra damage. He kind of stumbles backwards a little bit, and you can see he is just like on his last leg.
Okay, and for my second attack, I'm gonna do the exact same thing. Finish the job. Nice.
Ooh.
That is a hit. Let me know how you want to do it.
How do I want to do it? Same thing as I did before. I'm efficient, I'm quick, I want to go in and out.
Yeah. As he stumbles backwards, you waste no time, no relent. You just push the sword straight through, pull it out, give it a little flourish as the blood flicks off, and he passes back onto that cannon. Let's see. We've got Era. You are up next. There's
All right.
one remaining up with Sloop.
And that's the one I magic missiled before, right?
Yes.
From where I am, does he look like he's on his last legs? Does he look like he's not
Yeah, it
doing
looks
great?
like he's pretty bloody at this point.
Told the dead. I think. Wait, let me see if it's in range. Yeah, told the dead.
Yeah, he'd be in range. Yeah.
Yeah, so he needs to make a wisdom save.
He rolls a 3.
All right. Well, then he takes 1d8 plus an extra 1d. But he is hurt, so he takes a 1d12 too. So, what is that? 15? What I rolled there?
The 1d12 is the 7.
Yeah.
It actually rolls worse on the d12.
Okay, so yeah, I rolled max on the d8 and So what is that? 5?
It's just the 7. The 8 is because he just takes the 1d12. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
He didn't make the saving. He didn't make the saving throw though.
He did not make the saving throw. Does he take the
Yeah.
1d8 and the 1d12 if he fails?
Yeah,
the saving?
it says if he makes a wisdom saving throw or take a 1d8, if the target is missing any hit points, they take an additional 1d12.
Oh,
yeah.
Additional. Whoa.
I didn't know that was additional.
It's
Oh wait,
super
instead,
strong.
sorry. Instead takes.
Instead. Okay. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
That was my
I was just
dyslexia
like,
getting
oh,
to me.
man.
I'm sorry about
I
Yeah,
that.
have a
like-
cleric who is going to be so
I
upset
was
with
so-
Oh my god, if that was
Yeah,
the
I
roll,
was
it would be
stressed.
such a strong cantrip.
Sorry, that was my dyslexia getting me. I was mixing
no
words.
worries. Yeah. So again, this large ringing doles out, and you see him swaying again back and forth, and he very much looks like he's on his last legs now. As Sloop, you are up next in the queue.
Did I see if my zombie dude could break out of his thing?
Oh, you can roll for that. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot. I was thinking about that and then I totally lost it. All right, do you get out yet? 14.
Yeah.
Or
You
13,
see
not
him.
14.
You see him with a 13. That is the DC. So you see him manage to kind of like chew his way out of the ropes, but it takes his turn to do so.
All right, good. I need to have my servant.
Sloop, seal the deal.
I'm shoving him again. Get him out of here.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Get out
He's
of
gonna
here,
roll
buddy.
with disadvantage. Good thing he rolled disadvantage because he had a 20 on one of these and a 7 on the other, plus 5, 13.
Yeah, and
12.
I just walk up to him and just said, "It just would have been. You were gonna do it anyway." And push him off.
Get out of here.
Yeah, you see him swing down. Django, he kind of swings right by you, like right at your same level, and then back in a pendulum, and is just kind of hanging there off the ground. You kind of see the blood go very quickly to his head as he goes white and falls unconscious from the quick blood transfer. And with that, we drop ourselves out of combat, and we are going to take a very quick break here while we grab some water and everything before coming back to finish off this boat.
Hell yeah.
Thank you very much for
So
sticking around. We'll see
exciting.
you very shortly.
Exciting.